John McEnroe is more famous for his combustible temper on court than his wins and his triumphs. It is a pity, because McEnroe was pure genius with a racket in his left hand. With his distinctive serving style, beginning almost with his back to his opponent, and his deft touch at the net, he could seemingly make a tennis ball talk. Tennis did not exactly know what had hit it. He arrived as the Super Mac, but by the time he blew up at Wimbledon on the biggest stage, a newspaper dubbed him Super Brat. He raged at the All England Club, traditional home of the game, and was defaulted from a match at the Australian Open when he was given 3 code violations in quick succession. He greeted this with an apparent shrug of the shoulders. I mean, I guess it was bound to happen. It's too bad. I don't feel good about it, but I can't say that I'm totally surprised. Yet for a time after that infamous afternoon in Melbourne in 1990, he lost his passion for playing, then roared back into prominence. His rivalry with the great Swede Björn Borg is one of the greatest in all of sports, captured in 2 consecutive Wimbledon finals, 1980 and 1981. Borg won the first of them 8-6 in the 5th, in what many observers believe to be the greatest ever Wimbledon final. The contrast in styles merely added to the intrigue. The young American with his outbursts, and the Swede with his impassive, undemonstrative ways. But McEnroe had his revenge a year later, winning in 4 sets to halt Borg's remarkable string of 5 consecutive wins in London to finally conquer Wimbledon.
I grew up and I saw this incredible place. It seemed so far away when I was growing up in New York, but there was a beauty to it just on the TV, the grass courts. There's a tradition to it, obviously, but also the way that everyone around acts and the reverence it gets. So in a way, I didn't get that in the beginning. But now I think that the players really appreciate that. I understand it a lot more, and so they've sort of updated in a lot of ways, but also kept the tradition, so that's a good mix.
Like Lever, he was slightly built, and no one took him for a potentially great athlete at school. But surging at college, he won an NCAA championship, and by the age of 21, he was the #1 player in the world, the youngest to that point. His 7 Grand Slam singles titles is only surpassed by 4 Americans, and his touch around the net also made him arguably the best doubles player ever. He won 9 Grand Slam doubles crowns and was near unbeatable at Davis Cup level. McEnroe's explosive behavior never really waned, and his famous line to a chair umpire at Wimbledon in 1981 has been repeated ad nauseum, so much so that he used it for the title of his autobiography.
You cannot be serious!
But McEnroe was nobody's fool. He knew that to get the best out of himself, he needed to be playing and competing at high-octane level. And if it needed a stoush to happen, then so be it. He never lost the respect of the tennis world beyond his retirement, when he continued to play on the seniors circuit and was named coach of the world team for the Lever Cup.
That's allowed to see these players again, which I think is awesome. And it's nice that the players recognize it. I think the sport, I mean, I don't think it's a big surprise to see that they can add something, the passion and the understanding of what it takes at that moment.
For all his antics, the ATP and the 4 slams always seemed to have lost a little color once he was gone.